Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I've said this before. Energy is everything.
Yes.
Everything is energy. We are energy. The chair you're sitting in has a certain type of energy. The piece of paper and the pen you're holding, if you are, that's got a certain type of energy. We all have a different energy ourselves. Then once you understand that, and some guy, I think his name was Einstein, decades ago, started talking about it, and some were listening. Now more of us are listening and understanding it. And once you do, then you realize, well, we all have things to heal from. And a lot of times it's the energy that's contained within, called the bad energy, stuck energy. Once you find those modalities, you feel so much better. Sometimes you feel like the proverbial new person. We're going to talk about energy healing today. And it all starts with a wonderful place in Maryland. They start with salt. It's a salt sanctuary of Maryland, but they offer so much more. And here's the woman that's behind it. La Stone is with us. How's it going?
Hi, Steve. How are you today?
Very well. You've got the best energy of anybody, that's for sure. Definitely high vibes going on over there. And you've got somebody with equally good energy joining us. Who's this?
Yes, this is a member of our team. This is Mary Miller. She's been here with the Salt Sanctuary of Maryland for 5 years. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and we're so excited about today's topic because Mary is one of our energy healers here.
Wow. Welcome, Mary. Okay, let's go there. Energy healing. What is that? I briefly explained it, but can we go in a little bit more depth?
So I really love the way you began it because it's of the very basic understanding of really humanness is that we all think that we are this and this alone, this body, this personality. But the reality is that we are vibrational beings. So vibrational beings then is energy, and energy healing deals with any aspect of vibration that may be stuck or not moving correctly, or if you want to raise your vibration, to raise your level of consciousness, to raise your ease in the world and the things that are happening around you, then that's what energy work connects with.
So let's talk about that. This vibration thing, and what is energy? It's a vibration that is being sent out. Even when we hear things, it's a vibration. That's how it goes through the sound and goes in our ear and then into our brain, everything. We want the highest vibration possible, correct?
Yes. We want the highest vibration that we can handle at any given moment in time. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's higher. The physical body holds a lower vibration because it's a denser material. And the more you get into the higher levels of the human consciousness, of the human energy level, then the higher that vibration goes, until you get to the levels where you are connecting with that which is divine in you, is an aspect of God, all that is, source. So when you are working as an energy healer, the first thing you have to do is recognize your own energy and get out of the way when you're working with a client. And then you work at the beginning, like at the lower vibration, and kind of work your way up through the system until you're finding areas of the body, of the energy body, that are sort of clogged up or stuck, or where you've held a memory.
How can you tell?
Every energy worker experiences it different ways. For me, I feel it. Like once I am in my highest place, I feel a denser feeling. I might feel something sticky. I might feel a little bit of pain going on, not in me, but in the field or the energy. Like, have you ever walked into a room and met somebody or seen somebody and it's like, ooh, prickly, It's their energy that they're putting out that you're responding to.
Oh, sure. Like if you go to a party and you walk in and it just, I don't know, it doesn't feel like fun.
Right.
Probably the collective energy of everybody is lower. And that's one of those times where I got to come up with an excuse to get out of here. Or there's other times where you go to a party and it's like, yeah, that's just better than I thought. It just feels good. The
Yeah.
vibration is up. I've tested this and I do every once in a while. I'll go to the gym. And as I'm walking in, I'll say to myself, raise your vibration, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up high, positivity, just feeling good. I'm just bringing that up, bring that level up in my mind. People I see every day, don't know even who they are. They're just working out. After I do that, I will walk into the gym and it's a big gym to get where I need to go. And people will pass me. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how's it going? Hey, I don't even know
Exactly.
who these people are. And they
No.
didn't do that previously. But when I walked in, and it's not like I'm walking with a smile on my face,
Yeah.
I just raise my vibration in my mind. And I think they're picking up on it.
They are. I mean, we are animals, and we all
Mm,
know dogs and cats and
mm.
animals respond to us in different ways. If you're having a really bad day and you're in a really funky mood and you come across an animal, they know it. They know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
People think my dog just reads my mind, but no, they're reading your energy. They're
Yep.
responding to your energy.
Yep. I always say there's no being better grounded, and that's something else we can get to in a second,
Yes.
than an animal, because especially your dog, your cat, they got 4 feet, no shoes on, touching the ground 24/7, unless they're on your couch. And they have nothing else to do except eat, go to the bathroom, and be your friend. So they're
And they
not,
don't have a story. That's the other thing. They're
hmm,
not carrying their stories with them.
because they
Like
live in the moment.
exactly. We carry our stories. They're so precious to us. Oh, I was wounded. And yes, those things are true. But the reality is that with an animal, if they come into a situation where they're traumatized, they shake it off and they move on. It's done.
That's a great, you know what? I've started noticing that in the past year and change. And when my dog comes in, the first thing he does, he shakes. And I used to
Mhm.
think, oh, maybe his fur is matted from being outside. No, he's shaking off the energy from the outside, transitioning into the inside.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm. Yeah.
And if you've ever had a pet that was sick and you know that they've got some serious illness, they don't have that story. They just don't feel well in the moment.
Hmm.
When they feel better, then they're not carrying around the fact that, oh my goodness, I've got this horrible disease or whatever it is. They just live with the moment of how they feel.
Yep. Yep. It's so true. That was my biggest wake up, by the way. I'm going to share with you in my journey. This is about 4 years ago. Had some changes in my life. Things were different. Met somebody immediate, like they showed up for a reason. And they said to me, why don't you ever live in the moment? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, why don't you ever? You're thinking about the past, you're thinking about the future, you're not living now. It took me weeks to figure that out. And then I'm going to say, because I was new to that, months to put it into action. But that's what was an issue in my life. And it is, I think, for almost everybody that if
Yeah.
you slice this second right here, right now, here we go, 1 second, everything's great. There's no
Yes.
problems. Everything's
Right.
fantastic. Um, and I guess maybe that's where we get into the spiritualism side of this whole energy
Mhm.
topic today.
Yes. And it also connects with groundedness too,
Mm,
because um, one of the things we learned at the Brennan School was
mm,
um, a lot of people think raising your vibration means, you go up the scale, but the reality was that the real safety, the feeling of safety is in the more grounded you are in your being,
mm.
the more then you can raise your vibration, and then the bigger you get in your consciousness level. Is you've got to be here and now in the moment in your body, which is a sacred space, and also then expand out And that's when people respond to you, when your energy is expanding out and it's not in a distorted place. It's a very, I'm here, I know who I am, I'm good in this moment, I'm safe. Therefore, that's
Mm,
what I put into the world.
So self-awareness,
Mm.
it sounds like, is at the root of you, meaning any of us, having the energy first within, like you said,
Mhm.
you have to check your own energy before
Yes.
you can provide energy healing, unblocking to other people.
Mhm.
But it's that self-awareness. So if we're just buzzing all over the place and trying to be and pour, but we're not grounded,
Right.
we're not
We're-
getting it.
No, we're not getting, no, we're out here somewhere, which is all fine and well, but if you're not connecting it to here, which is what we are here. This earth is a sacred space. It is an entity of energy of its own, and there is a purpose to be here. And that purpose is to be here. So as you wander off into the nether regions, then you are not fully encompassing you. And that's what people respond to, and yourself. You know, you feel safe, you feel good, you know, then you're connected to your knowingness.
I
And then
realize
whatever
something here.
happens.
We
I'm
talk
sorry.
about grounding,
Mhm.
and I never put this together until you just mentioned it, that the spiritualism and the vibes that we put out, the vibration, we always want to be in high vibration. Electricity is vibration. There's a
Yes.
thing called alternating current, AC, comes out of the wall. What's going on there is a vibration, and it's alternating the vibration.
Mhm.
That wall outlet is grounded, goes to the ground. And interestingly, if you think of it this way, we're energy, i.e., vibration. And for us to operate the best way possible, we need to be grounded. Again, how do you do that? Walk outside. Don't-
Yeah.
Hug, don't laugh, hug a tree. That's
I'm
how
a
you
big
ground.
hugger. I'm a big tree hugger.
Yeah.
But what does that do? Hugging a tree, so then I know it's helping to ground you, but I've heard the term and it seems like a frivolous thing, but
Mm.
what's the meaning? Like, what's the value?
Well, for me, when I do it, I'm touching the tree. And the thing about the tree is, it is tree. It just is tree. It's nothing else. It's going nowhere. It has no story. It is the ultimate being. It's a being, and it is solid.
Yeah. And you feel that.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you open yourself up and you're relating to the tree in a quiet place, then it's emanating you beingness. So it just brings you right.
Is there grounding properties though, where, you're grounded, you feel
Mhm.
like you're more solid, more connected, just more together? Um, do you feel that that's also part of it?
Yeah, it's it's paying attention, it's being aware of what's going on with you. So groundedness is a sense of quietness. It's a sense of sort of a solid knowing.
Mm.
The solid knowing doesn't come like immediately, but the calmness does. The sense of, oh, I'm here, and that's all I need to be. And then everything else, it's like the puzzle pieces click together. Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Your system comes back in order, and you are thinking clearly. And for some people, depending on how ungrounded they have been, they might actually have a sense that the world got brighter because they're not up here. They're actually in their physical body, and they're being able to see and hear more clearly. And your mind is clearer because all your systems are aligning.
Calm is a good one because that was my wake up a few years ago. And I walked outside after practicing all this stuff and learning about it. And there's still, there's tons of stuff that we need to figure out, each one of us. I walked outside and I'm like, I got a lot going on. But you know what? I have this thing called quiet calm. That's what I call it. Just like I remember looking up at the sun. I'm like, we're good. This is good. We're going to be all right. And it hasn't changed. I used to be one of those people where something would happen. I'm like, oh my God, look what happened. Oh, I got to react to it.
Yeah.
And nothing surprises me anymore. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's just like, just roll with it because I feel that there's a grounding. And there's even done research that just like an hour a day can totally change your life around. And I felt like I wasn't grounded for quite some time recently, just been busy, haven't got a chance to get away. And a friend of mine, I was at work getaway the last couple of days, like 3 days, just got back. He had a condo on the beach and he's like, yeah, if you want, we can work. And, I just rented it. He's in between. He's living a good life right now. So I went there and I had a stack of books and things to do. All I wanted to do was sit and stare at the ocean. That's it. And I was like, but I need to, nope, I'm not going to do anything else. That's it. And it was wonderful. It's just,
and it was enough.
Yeah. And of course, to the salt, sanctuary side of things, that salt air, just all of that, rolling in and just all of that coming together. And yes, looking at a tree and touching a tree did that too. Tell me, Mary, about what you practice there in terms of energy healing. There's many different types, Reiki, et cetera, chakra balancing. What do you do there?
So my form of energy healing is Brennan Healing Science. I went to the Barbara Brennan School of Healing, which is a 4-year program. So it was very intense as far as sort of going through all the little closet spaces in your interpersonal self, and also learning energy techniques. So considering that we are vibrational beings, we learn techniques on working with the physical body, which was, you can go down into the muscle level, you can go down into the bone level, you connect with the cells of the body, you just have a conversation with them. There's no forcing. It's all about what the client is open and ready for. I'm just sort of the conduit for that. And then working the way up the body with my hands just on top of the body. And then I get to the place where I start to feel the sense of, okay, what's going on in the field now, in the energy field? What's happening? Oh, there's something over here. So let me just put some presence here. My presence, the guide's presence, that person's higher self, and allow this to sort of bubble up and see what's going on. If the client is ready, it can be released. It could be an old memory that was just traumatic. It could be an old injury that was being held on to in the body, and it just creates some kind of pain or whatever's not flowing properly. And then after we work our way through all the levels of the field, close the field up, and then allow that person to integrate that into their lives.
So I know it's not Reiki or chakra balancing.
Yes, we do work with the chakras.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you're feeling somebody's energy field. You're trained to pick up on, I call it energy that's a little wonky or, stuck. Something's going on there, and able to send your energy in to change the situation?
Yes, my vibration, in order to do what I do, I have to raise my vibration up higher than what the client's is. And then I also depend upon guidance, which is higher guidance. So I call it my higher self,
Hmm.
also the client's higher self. And all of us come with an entourage, if you will, of higher beings and spiritual sources. Could be grandparents, could be, any number of higher sources.
So you're saying that the higher sources are the person you're working with, spirit team, if you will, or
Yes.
yours coming
And
into
mine
play, and
working
yours.
together, right?
Hmm.
And mine too. So my teachers, my guides, their teachers, their guides, any and all spiritual beings of higher level, I invite in, and then I'm kind of led by, oh, there's something over here. What could this be? Maybe I don't need to know it. Maybe I do. And then we work with that little piece of something.
Hmm.
And if the client is really ready, then it gets so I'm not pulling it out, saying this is bad, go away, terrible, terrible. I'm saying, oh, here's love for you. This is love. This is higher vibration. We're reintroducing you into higher vibration. This part of you that got stuck. We just want you to come back to the fold, if you will. And then that disappears. That aspect of it disappears.
For anybody that doesn't believe in this, or they're, kind of woo-woo about it, I got it. I understand. Experience it. Now, your exact modality, Mary, I've never experienced, but I've had Reiki sessions, I have chakra balancing, all of it. They're all it's energy related. And I
Mhm.
can say this every single time I felt lighter, more
Mhm.
clarity, a difference. And I know it's not in my head. I know there's something there because as I've understood it, it gets down to the cellular level. Stuff you're dealing with, the stuck energy, relationships, there's stuff going on. We all have stuff going on.
Mhm.
It goes deep into your body. And now you're walking around and it's all stuck. So
Yes.
time to
Yeah.
clear it out. Um,
Here's, Steve, can I mention, there's a book that I recently read called When the Body Says No, and
Mm.
it connects with a healing massage that I had once, which opened my eyes to the fact that our bodies remember.
Oh, yeah.
And so we repress things, bad experiences, or just things that we keep moving through the world, but our body remembers.
Yeah.
Cellular.
And it's cellular, like you said, and then conditions arise before we know it.
Yep.
And this healing massage that I got, I was told, even if you have to scream into a pillow, get it out.
Mhm.
Because she felt something down here, like in my kidney. Is that my kidney
yeah,
area?
yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, what is this? But now I'm so much better. I'm opening my throat chakra. I'm doing the work. I'm getting it out. And I feel freer.
Yeah.
Just
You have to purge. You
You
can't
gotta
hold
let
on
it
to
go.
Yeah, energy has to move, right? And people are afraid to feel fear, to feel anger, to feel, real deep sadness and pain. But the reality is, if you feel those feelings and then you release them by crying or screaming or kicking something that doesn't get hurt and you don't, but whatever it is that you need to do to move that energy, then it's done. It's over. Like the dog shaking.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we push it in, push it down, deny it. That's when we cause problems.
And we might even be doing that and not even knowing it. It could be,
Oh, yes.
the passing of a loved one years ago, and you dealt with it, you grieved, and then you put it aside. And you'll never forget it, but you might not realize how much it may still impact you energetically to the
Mhm.
day. And until that is all cleared out, you're just going to be carrying it with you. And, circumstances come up, might not even be related to that, but you still feel like you're just not moving forward. You don't feel calm, dealing with stress all the time. How do we, if somebody, I know you service the, in and around is it Elkridge?
Yeah, Elkridge, Maryland, the DMV.
Gotcha. Okay. Best way to find you if somebody even wants to talk to Mary and kind of figure this energy thing out?
Yeah, give us a call, area code 410-799-7699, or visit us online at saltsanctuarymd.com. You could also send an email to info@saltsanctuarymd.com.
And final question, Mary, can you do any of this virtually if somebody's not in the Maryland area?
Yes. I do. I do it. I call it distance healing. People call it whatever they want. And so I connect with the person, have a conversation, which is my typical way anyway.
Sure.
And then that person then just kind of lays down in a quiet place. And then I do the energy healing, and then we reconnect afterwards to see what insights I may have had or that they got.
Also, footnote, Mary and our team does group energy healing sessions.
Yeah.
And team building energy healing sessions.
Ooh,
and I don't
what a
know
great
about
idea.
either of you, but I've been on teams where we could use some energy healing, especially with the holidays coming around.
Yes, relationships have an energy to them. And if they get clogged up, those relationship cords, all kinds of interesting things happen. So
yeah. And that's a whole other podcast. Cut the cords. Yeah. We got
clear
tons
the
of
cords, not cut. Clear.
Yes, clear. Thank you. Well, some cords I do want to cut.
Oh, well.
Thank you so much for today. Lots of insight on all of this. And anybody, you have a question, Mary's reach out. I'm sure just even to have a quick conversation if somebody is wondering, and maybe even wants to take it to the next level. Both of you, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
And when I say it, I mean it. Positive vibes.
Yes,
Positive vibes.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.